Alrighty, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to ExA Racing League, and welcome back to another round of X2. Today, this evening, will be the 14th and final round of Season 4 in X2, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the Yas Marina circuits. One championship has already been decided, but another championship and other positions lower down in both championships still yet to be decided this evening. As we're about to head in for the finale of X2 live from Yas Marina. Before we do head into the race, and before the race we even have qualifying to look forward to, but before even qualifying gets underway, let's have a look at the Drivers' and Constructors' Championship situation. So, in terms of Drivers' Championships, first of all, last week at Zandvoort, the Drivers' Championship was already decided, with Raven winning it in Zandvoort last week by taking a 4th place finish, which was enough for him to seal the deal. Despite his main rival's Surprise's best efforts, Surprise couldn't catch him, sadly. But Raven does finish X2 season number 4 on top with 181 points, with Surprise sitting in 2nd place, 40 points behind the newly crowned champion. So Surprise won't be able to catch him anymore. However, Surprise still has a fight in his hands, as 3rd place MCL in the standings is on 122 points. So 19 points between Surprise and MCL. 19 points between P2 and P3. So there is still a fight there. Firmly advantaged Surprise heading into the race. But it's still all to play for between 2nd and 3rd place. And behind them, No and the AlphaTauri not even in the fight anymore for even P3, because he's on 88 points. Then Aureli's in P5 with 86, then Aiden 82, then Jaumir on 77, then Banjo on 76, Evipt on 71, then Snell on 67. So that is the top 10 in the Drivers' Championship. And actually, Aiden in the Red Bull actually won the race with the fastest lap in Zandvoort last week. So that was our last week's race winner. And now for the Constructors' Championship. This is where the top orders are still online. They're on the lights. So, the Constructors' Championship fight. It is Mercedes versus Williams. Brackley versus Grove. Customer Mercedes versus Mercedes Works Team. The Silver Arrows, or technically Carbon Arrows, because they have a carbon fiber livery this year. Anyway, the Silver Arrows, in air quotes, versus the Blue Legends, if you can call that. But Mercedes versus Williams. Mercedes have the advantage on 266 points. The Williams are not far behind on 248. So 18 points between the top two. Both having 2 wins each. Williams have double the amount of 2nd place finishes with 4 versus Mercedes 2. Though Mercedes do have an extra 2 3rd place finishes with 2, whilst Williams don't even have a 3rd place finish. 3 fastest laps for Mercedes compared to 1 for Williams. But Williams have 2 poles compared to Mercedes 1. And all teams attended all of the events, which is good. And in terms of the standings behind those top 2, Ferrari are not in the fight anymore for the Constructors' Championship. They're on 183 points, so they're mathematically out of contention. P4 are Red Bull on 178, then P5 is AlphaTauri on 155, then McLaren on 151. Same with Alfa Romeo, though McLaren are ahead on countback because whilst they both have 1 win each, McLaren has 1 more second place finish. McLaren have 2 P2s compared to 1 P2 for Alfa Romeo. Then P8 is Haas on 144, then Alpine on 135, and then Aston Martin sits at the bottom on 121. Aston Martin could theoretically catapult themselves out of that P10 spot, but either way, a championship is still on the line heading into the final rounds of Season 4 at X2 as we are about to ready up. All the drivers have been told to ready up. And we're about to get this show underway in 10 seconds time. Here we go. Abu Dhabi, short qualifying first up. Then 29 laps from sunrise to sunset. It is time for Abu Dhabi. Live. But first up, we have short qualifying. One single 18-minute session to determine who will start where for the main race. Let's see who will come out on top. So, in terms of what we could expect from the main contenders, Mercedes and Williams, we pretty much expect both teams, like both teammates, working with each other. So we expect the Mercedes drivers working with each other. Same with the Williams drivers. So we expect the Williams drivers to be working together, giving each other slipstreams, giving each other DRS, etc. And we do expect maybe Mercedes maybe trying to hold up Williams in certain situations and vice versa. But let's see. Anything can happen. I have no idea who will be where. Mercedes and Williams, they've always been quite equal in terms of performance, in my feelings at least. But let's see who is on the better form as we're heading under the lights for Abu Dhabi qualifying. No full qualifying formats, just one 18-minute session. Not much time for these drivers to set a good lap time, so they need to go full steam ahead from start to finish. We do expect drivers to be pushing over the limits. The drivers ideally want to be on the limits, but not over the limits. And also, needs to be smooth. So, drifting in hot lapping, for example, is not a good combination. Unless you want some style points. Anyway, we're going to wait now for everybody to load up. It's taking a little while. Hopefully no red flags. Because red flags wouldn't be the most ideal thing as qualifying now gets underway. Let's turn on all of the necessary data before I inevitably forget it myself, because I do tend to forget that stuff myself. Right, okay, nobody's exited the pits yet, but qualifying is underway. A full grid of drivers, 20 out of 20. And and the main thing is that Mercedes and Williams both have their full-time drivers, so we do expect the Mercedes and Williams drivers to be working with each other. Obviously not a Mercedes and Williams driver working together. We obviously expect the Mercedes driver working with the Mercedes driver, and then the Williams driver working with the Williams driver together. As we got our first group of cars going out of the pit lane, and it is the two AlphaTauris and the Williams of Surprise out of the pit lane first, and onto the Yas Marina circuit in Abu Dhabi. A very unique circuit. One of the most unique ways that people I don't think people really know about is that it's actually built on an artificial island. And by artificial, I mean humans built an island and then decided to build a racetrack on, which is certainly unique. For me, at least, it is unique. But yeah, other than that, it's a circuit that people tend to have a love-hate relationship because the circuit does tend to produce some boring races in real life, at least. In the ExA, not really. Races here do tend to be quite exciting. But let's see what will X2 provide us this evening? As we're gonna watch Quadruple Y out, and he'll be the first driver to set a lap time. Let's ride on board with the AlphaTauri around the 5.3 kilometer, 3.3 mile Abu Dhabi Grand Prix circuit as he pedals down towards turn number 1, braking after the 100 meter ball down to 5th gear. It'll be easily flat out through turns number 2. Through 3, goes again flat out, a little kick of turn 4, then up to the hairpin of turn number 5, braking around when the curve starts just before the 50 meter board, down to 3rd gear, now on the throttle, opens the DRS, the first of 2 DRS zones on the circuit, as he'll reach well over 320 kilometers an hour, around 200 miles an hour as he heads onto the brakes very heavily before the 100 meter board for the chicane. Turn 6 and 7 down to 2nd gear, and stopping up to 3rd, then going up the gears normally, opens the DRS once again, and he'll heading down towards turn number 9, very high speed corner. He won't go down many gears, he'll actually tap the brakes around 50 meter board down to 5th gear, and now it's going to be flat through turn 10, 11, and then down to 4th, 3rd gear for turn 12. Then under the hotel he goes for turns 13 and 14. Shortly comes to 4th at the exit of 14. And then round turn 15, flat out. He actually validates his lap time there. But we're still going to finish it. Round turn 16 he goes. And that would have been a 23.6. But it won't count as he invalidated his lap time, unfortunately. His teammate behind starts a lap. And maybe I was surprised, does set the first benchmark, valid benchmark with a 22.7, but then 22.2, apologies, now as Alfie goes on 22.7. Then we have on the Alfa Romeo, Snox on a 23.4. Then his teammate is next, MCL. MCL has a chance of finishing runner-up, goes ahead of his teammate, but behind his main rival. Then Tobias goes on 23.8. Then it is Aiden, followed by his teammate. Aiden goes 2nd with a 22.5. One of his teammates goes 3rd, right behind him. Then we have, I believe that's not Jettas, that's Amputee. Amputee goes 5th fastest. Then it is Robsu next in the Aston Martin. Little slide around the final corner, but puts him P8 still. As we're gonna have a look of who's next. That one, the Alpines? No. Okay, that's what the Alpines. That's I think that's Alfie got a in lap. Who's on a lap? I think Jets. Okay, no, Jets on a lap. Let's have a look at Quadruple Y. He's on another lap. Let's have a look at. Okay, no, he's pitting. Yeah, I feel you, Rolly. Missing racing. If you haven't raced in a long time, when you come back, it is yeah, you do miss it sometimes if you haven't been racing there for a while or not able to race for a long time. Yeah. Why is quadruple? I mean quintuple. I mean I don't bother. If I tried to say all the whys, it would have been why. Like it'd just be too much for him. Like okay, quintuple. There you go. Okay, I honestly, I think I forgot what came after quadruple. I couldn't remember at the top of my head, so I just said, yeah, quadruple. I mean, there are 4 Ys that are not capitals. The first Y is a capital letter. The other 4 aren't, so technically in some form I am correct. But yeah, reality, quintuple Y should be. I'll do quintuple Y, even though they are quadruple non-capital. Why? I mean, I'll just say quintuple Y because I can remember that very well. Just call it Y. Well, why? Because people maybe might not get something. I'm just gonna say quintuple Y because I'll remember that. Hopefully. Next we got Banjo on an out lap. Same with Renegade. Raven just pits. Who's next? Okay, Reason's on a lap. Let's have a look what he can do. Reason repping V10W. Yes, V10, the new esports team created by ExA and VF1. Absolute W for him as he puts it in a very nice P4. Let's see if that'll stand. So look who's next. That's Snox, improving himself to a P7 just ahead of his teammates. Lead, that's Granddad pitting. Amputee is pitted. That's Jetters will be next to set a lap time in the Haas. His teammate's currently P6. Where can he put himself? What about Jetters? So only P12 for Jetters. Not a great initial lap for him. Okay, Cheeseax is about to start a lap. Then we have the fry of Duplex, who will put a time onto the leaderboards. And goes wide at the exits. Not invalidated, weirdly. That puts it in P10. Then Megan starts a lap. What about MCL? MCL's on an out lap. Then we have the McLaren's that's Bust on an out lap. Then I believe it is Banjo. Yes, it is Banjo next. What can he do to help Mercedes boost their chances of fighting for the Constructors' Championship? Looking good, sort of, at the moment. P4. Doesn't look good for the Constructors' fight for Mercedes. Yeah, doesn't look good at the moment. Well, qualifying at least at the moment doesn't look good. But let's see. Because qualifying is one thing, but then the race could be a whole different thing. Like, you could not be quite... You can be not quite at the top in qualifying, but you can still have amazing race pace. I do have like a sort of saying for myself that just because you're good at qualifying doesn't necessarily mean you'll be good in the race. That's a kind of a saying I have myself, that qualifying isn't everything. Race pace and strategy can also play a factor in, and also safety cars if those things can appear, as I believe that is Chisa putting in P5. And at the moment, it is advantage Williams in terms of starting positions, at least. And that means, considering that we have a Constructors' Championship on the line this evening, it means I'm gonna have to do quite a lot of calculations mid-race. And track limit penalties are inevitable, but I like trying to calculate whilst also adding who will finish where after penalties mid-race is going to be hard. So I'll just calculate it as if the penalties don't exist. But then once the penalties are applied, once the race is actually finished, then it'll be a lot easier. Is that Banjo disconnected? I believe that's Banjo who disconnected from the session, I believe. So one Mercedes on the back for a little bit already, as we're going to have a look at what Raven can do. The X2 champion, he took the Drivers' Championship last week in Zandvoort, looking to help his team win the Constructors, as I believe that is Aston Martin there getting out the way. Yes, it is. There's a Haas ahead of him, who will also need to get out of the way. The Haas is about to start to lap. That is Amputee, as, oh my goodness gracious, Raven has spin it at the final corner. And I was talking about Raven trying to put a lap in and trying to help his team fight for the Constructors. Well, just a few seconds later, Raven bins it on his first attempt at the final corner. So yeah, Mercedes looking a little bit on the back foot at the moment in qualifying, as Raven don't have much time left to put a lap time on the leaderboard, as we have 6 minutes 40 left in the session, so still decent time, but not a lot. As, yeah, Mercedes on the back foot. Raven invalidating his lap time, not invalidating, actually bidding it. Remote Banjo disconnecting, although I don't know if he's joined in or not. But yeah, maybe Mercedes will be able to turn around in the race. Let's see. But yeah, Williams at the moment have the advantage in qualifying. Surprises in P1, and Granddad just put it in 4th position. So Williams at the moment firmly establishing themselves in the fight and telling Mercedes that, hey, just because we're behind, we're not going to give up. The gap isn't that big. We're still going to fight. As look at that empty in the Haas, puts it in on the front row for the time being. Where did he go? Let's have a look. Healing broken foot. Ravens race with a healing broken foot. Banjo can't rejoin. If he disconnects again, they could. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. With that information, with Raven having that foot problem, remote Banjo having disconnection. Yeah, Mercedes looking on the back foot. So remember, it is an 18-point gap between Mercedes and Williams. So in terms of points, I'm going to bring up the standings very quickly, if I can get that. Where are my standings? There we go, standings. Okay, so Mercedes are ahead on 18 points. So Williams just need to score 18 points, because Williams, no. No, Williams doesn't have to score 18 points. Williams have to score 18 more points than Mercedes. And if they do, then Williams would win on countback, because Williams have 2 more second-place finishes than Mercedes. Mercedes have 2 second-place finishes. Williams have 4. So, if at the end of the race they're level on points, then Williams would win unless Mercedes win the race. But then, yeah. But let's see. Let's have a look at. Go on. So yeah, Surprise looking as the man to beat for the time being. He lost the championship in the drivers last week, looking to put an extra motivation to himself and looking to help his team together with Granddada to give Williams a championship in the constructors. We'll absolutely battered these lads. Okay, you can say what you want, but like, yeah, I can't like disclose if you can beat them or not. But let's see. Yeah, Surprise, having lost the championship here before. Yeah, so Surprise, I think Surprise getting a bit of a deja vu, knowing that he did lose a championship here before. So I think he'll not want history to repeat itself. I mean, yeah, this isn't Season 2. This is actually Season 4. X2 Season 4, to be specific. So we're going to have a look at Snooks on his latest attempt. And current provisional pole sitter Surprise is also on an outlap, along with Reason, Duplex, Tobias, Raven on an outlap as well. Remote Banjo still in the pits. I'm not sure if he'll be able to rejoin or if he has rejoined. He hasn't come out of the pits, so I don't think he has rejoined yet. So if Remote Banjo isn't able to rejoin, then that's going to be a big shame for Mercedes. Then it means that Raven will be the sole Mercedes out there in the field. As Stokes only marginally misses out on improving, as the McLaren of Bust does the exact same mistake that Raven did a few minutes ago and spins at the final corner whilst on an flying lap, no less. So Bust, so I think Raven did that mistake a few minutes ago. Bust saw it, told his engineer that he won't do it. His engineer told him, copy that. And then Burst literally copied that. Literally copied Raven's mistake. So we're going to have a look at... Oh my god. Everybody and their mother is on an outlap. Look at that. Every single driver pretty much out on track. These scenes are crazy, you know. So we're going to have a look at Tobias, who is on a lap himself. The Ferrari of Duplex starts a lap. Let's have a look. Where's Reason? Reason is at the Spartan sector number 2. Let's see what he can do. Let's run on board with the Ferrari as we have less than a minute left in the session. The Williams of Surprise that is right ahead of him on track. Is that Surprise making a mistake? No, that's Grandadder. My apologies there. That's Grandadder. Reason is on the longest straight right now, heading towards the chicane right now. So we're gonna have a look at Reason, who almost invalidates the track limits there, keeps it within the limits though, as we pits. Reason pits, so that is gonna be it for him. Then Remote Banjo is on an out lap. Teammate Raven is about to do a lap. What can Raven do? It's one and only attempt, and Raven only puts it fourth. One Williams is ahead of one Mercedes, so Williams have at least one dub already, as Tobias puts it in P8. Let's have a look at Duplex, who will be next to cross the line as the checkered flag falls. Qualifying is over. Duplex puts it on pole. What about Surprise? Can he take it back? Yes, he can on a 22-0. Next cross line will be MCL in the Alfa Romeo, looking to fight Surprise for runners-up spots in the Drivers' Championship. Doesn't go ahead of his rival. Only P6 for him. Next cross the line will be, who is that? Jettas. Jettas goes fourth momentarily. No, third momentarily. As Alfie goes now third fastest. Then, Aiden. No, that's not Aiden. That's Mild going P9. Then it is the Aston of Robsu next. Robsu, only P18 for Robsu as the outtime Harvey has a spin at the final corner and only P15. What about his teammate though? Quintuple Y. Slowest of all, the 24-2 as we can see. That is Grandadder spinning at the final corner as Amputee finishes off in P4. Remote Banjo puts it in P8. Then Tobias invalidated his lap there. As, look at that! Aiden in the Red Bull goes onto pole position. And Tobias invalidated his lap time. So that means that qualifying is now over. And Aiden in the Red Bull at the last second takes pole position by less than 0.04 of a second. Wowee. Look at those gaps, ladies and gentlemen. P1 to P16 covered by about a second. Talk about close gaps in qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. As we're now going to head to the final results after qualifying. Aiden takes pole position on a 22.024. Surprise finishes on the front row with a 22.062, less than 400s between the top two. Then Duplex in third for Ferrari. Then Alfie, Amputee, Jettas, Banjo, Raven, MCL, Med, Rails running at the top 10. Then Grandadder, Tobias, Cheesehack, Reason, Harvey, Stokes, Bus, Robsu, Momigan, and Quintuple Y rounding out our qualifiers. And in terms of the Constructors' Championship fight, at the moment, Williams, at least one Williams is qualified both Mercedes, but then you have another Williams behind both Mercedes. As we head into the race, we'll have a clearer image of who could be where. Although who will be where will change dramatically all the time. 18 points. Yes, 18 points advantage for us. So Williams need to outscore Mercedes by at least 18 points if they want to at least win the championship on countback. If Mercedes can make sure that Williams don't outscore them by more than 18 points, if Mercedes doesn't let Williams outscore them by 18 points or more, then Mercedes have the championship. But let's see who will take it as we head into the final round of X2 Season 4. the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix live as we head to the 5 red lights for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix at Yas Marina. It is lights out and away we go. Looks like Aiden gets a good start. What about Surprise? He doesn't really get that much of a good start as he'll try to go down the inside of Aiden. Doesn't work now as there's a little bit of argy-bargy at the back. But up front, Aiden leads the way. There's Yas at the back. There's been a collision between Snox and Bust at the back. They've dropped down. Burst has stopped on track. Meanwhile, Aiden leads the way. But look at this duplex down the inside. It makes contact with the race leader. Oh my good lord. The race leader, Aiden, has been spun round by Duplex, who now takes the lead, although very controversially, as Remote Banjo in the Mercedes is gaining and gaining. We're going to go 3 wide almost, as Alfie goes now down the inside, hitting the Alpine. One drama, first up, and again, the Ferrari rear ends the race leader. This time rear ends Alfie. Now Alfie goes down the auto. Duplex rear-ending the race leader twice in about half a lap. Meanwhile, Remote Banjo is looking to take the race lead. The 2 Williams drivers, they moved up many places already on lap 1. What chaos has happened on lap 1? Duplex leads the way, then Remote Banjo, then the 2 Williams of Surprise and Grandad, and then Raven and P5. So the Mercedes and Williams drivers locking horns already. The Mercedes and Williams drivers not giving it in. Duplex is gonna get a big slap on the wrist for the stewards, I have no doubt, because that was very, very sketchy. As the end lap 1, Duplex leads the way, then Remote Banjo, then the 2 Williams of Surprise and Grandad, and then Raven and Mercedes P5. Mercedes and Williams stuck together on track. Let's see who could be where. As okay, I need to turn on the tires. There we go. Got everything on, so you can see Duplex, Banjo on the mediums, Surprise on the hards, Grandad on the Surprise on the hards, Grandad on the soft, Raven on medium. So that's gonna be an interesting strategy. As look at this, is Surprise gonna have a move? No, that's Grandad making a move on his teammate. MCL and Tobias swapping it out for P6 at the back. And MCL goes 1 position up, although he is quite a bit behind his main rival for P2 in the championship. Look at this, Grandad makes the move on Remote Banjo. No surprise there on the soft combat tires, as Alfie is trying to make up places after he got spun round by Duplex. He's now up into he's P6, now down to P7, as Tobias manages to get past him. Meanwhile, Duplex already opening a gap of just over a second, although that gap might come down as Grandad does have soft tires, so Grandad will have the initial pace as he sets the fast up at the race. No surprises there on those red-walled softs, though those soft tires will wear out a lot quicker. Wait, let's have a look at who has damage. So I'm not seeing any damage on either of the cars. I'm surprised Duplex doesn't have any front wing damage, considering he rear-ended 2 people. As Bust has had another spin at turn 1, and he is now dropped to the bottom of the field. Meanwhile, Alfie and Tobias getting friendly with each other. For P6, as the Alfie has DRS, McLaren also has DRS. MCL is joining this fight as well. Are we going to go 3 wide? No, we're not going to go 3 wide now. MCL is going to make the move on Tobias. Very, very close, very close. No contact made, though the Alpha gets past, and the has some jetters makes the opportunistic move as well. Meanwhile, Millard makes a move on Harvey for P10 in this race, blocks him off, and now Reason gets up into P10. Meanwhile, Alfie and MCL going side by side. Alfie getting past the Alpha Male, actually re-overtaking him, I think that is. As okay, Reason and Millard getting close with each other as well. Red Bull nearly ending the Ferrari there. As what's this, quadruple Y dropping down. He's down to P16. Meanwhile, Tobias becomes our first driver with a tie penalty, and that driver with the tie penalty does head to the pit lane first on the end of lap 3. So very, very early, Pep, as there's yellow sector 2. That's one of the Mercedes. It is Raven. Raven in the Mercedes has had a spin at turn 1, so Mercedes on the back foot a bit already. I don't know what happened there. Did he make contact with someone? Did he spun on his own? Either way, he has dropped down. And now it is advantage of Williams. Though, as it stands, if I'm calculating, wait, 18 plus 12 is 30. It is still Mercedes just ahead, as we can see Alfie making a double overtake there, team. Meanwhile, Roman Banjo makes the move on Duplex. Roman Banjo and Grandad are both getting past the race leader. And surprising, the Williams is looking to follow as well, as Duplex has now lost 2 places in 1 lap. And Surprise almost had a look. Almost make the move. So going to ride on board with the Williams, as we have Williams in P1 and P4. So at the moment, Williams scoring 26 plus 12, that's 40. So at the moment, it is advantage Williams as it stands at the moment. Meanwhile, there's a yellow sector 2. That's an Alpine. That is Megan having a spin at the hotel section. That's another driver dropping down the order. Meanwhile, at the front, Grandad leads the way from Williams. Then it is Remote Banjo, then Duplex, then Surprise in P4, with Raven all the way down P17 as he pits, as I would have expected, because he did go front wing damage, so he made contact either with a car or with a wall. Let's have a look at this move. You can see Duplex weaving to defend. So no match for Surprise, but up ahead slightly. Remote Banjo's going to make the move on Grandad. Down the inside he goes. The Fry is going to try to defend his position for 3rd place. Though Surprise tried the switchery, still there around the outside. Very, very close, as the Williams Surprise still side by side with the Ferrari. Grandad gets back up into P1. But how much longer does Remote Banjo is still there? He's still there. Side by side they go towards the hotel section, towards 10, 12, almost making contact with each other. Grandad holds on to the lead. Remote Banjo 3rd. Duplex hangs on to P3. Incredible racing goes on. It's the other Mercedes of Banjo. Makes contact whilst fighting for position. And now we've gone from 1 Mercedes out of the points to now both out of the points. So Williams firmly ahead in the fight as it stands. Mercedes having awful bad luck already, as Duplex now takes the lead. So I think Banjo made contact with one of the Williams drivers, which promoted Duplex back into P1. Yeah, I think he got spun right by one of the Williams of Grandad, I think, because Banjo was fighting with Grandad for P1. Meanwhile, Surprise, he's going alongside, not alongside Duplex here, though he is gaining on Duplex. The hard tires will slowly become stronger compared to the mediums, as the Williams has DRS. He is going to be gaining on the Ferrari. Is he close enough towards turn 9? No, not quite close enough, but he was able to gain. Let's see, as you can see Aiden now overtaking Banjo for P12 at the back. I know Banjo back up to P11, back into P10 now. Banjo, he's trying to make a move. He's now down to P11 again. So yeah, Mercedes having an awful race at the moment. Oh, look at this. Miller and MCL going side by side. There's a little bit dicey here. Also got a look at what's going to happen here. As they round the final corner to start lap 7. We have a train of, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars pretty much fighting for what is P4, with Aiden and Remote Banjo just behind as Alfie pits. Let's have a look at the race lead. Duplex still leading the way. And oh my god, another big driver contender spins, and it is Surprise who spins at the hairpin. We've got one big driver spinning, then another, and then another to add to the list. And no Surprise has gone from potentially overtaking the race leader to far behind them. Meanwhile, at the back, we're going to go 3 wides. Not quite, but Beeson does get into P4. As you can see, MCL and Miller going side by side. with each other. The Alfa Romeo almost being forced off the track, squeezing and making contact. As I'm about to lose my voice soon, as Miller aggressively gets past him. Meanwhile, Tobias has retired in the pit lane. That won't cause a safety car. As Miller's P6, LCL dropping down a couple places. I believe that's the Haas going wide. That is Jetson's going wide there. As Tobias has left the session. Look at this, MCL trying to make a place. Make a little bit of contact with the Haas there. The Haas fights back. Is MCL going to be ahead? Still side by side. They go. The Haas is still at the outside, forced off the track. But the Haas is still ahead of the Alfa Romeo, who made contact with the Red Bull. Ooh, look at that. Is MCL going to try to go down the inside of the final corner? You don't see an overtake happening often there. But MCL had the move. Well, didn't have the move. He went for the move. Yeah. Oh, it didn't quite work out. As we can see, ooh, look at that. Grandada already 3 seconds behind Duplex. So those soft tires already look starting to fade away compared to Duplex's mediums. And certainly fading a lot faster compared to his teammates' hard tires. As I now get a moment to calm down a little bit, or will I? As this fight for what is P4 is still getting dicey. As Aiden Rumo Bancho tossing around for the final point spot. As we're going to have a look at Chisak, who makes a move on Mild for P5. And the Aston puts himself into that P5. But Mild is still there side by side. Okay, not side by side. Let's have a look at this. Reesup has had a big recovery drive as the Ferraris are now P1 and P4. Although that P1 does have a big asterisk on it after Duplex rear-ended the race leader on lap 1 twice. And 2 different race leaders, in fact. As Quintuple Y picks up a time penalty for track limits, as he is now the only driver at the moment on track with such penalty. Tobias was the other one, but he's obviously retired from the session. Meanwhile, Reesup has gained on surprise. The surprise has damage. I don't know if he has damage because he has a big wiggle there at the exit. I was able to see the rear ends going side to side a bit. There's just the back. Is that what he asked it? I think that was Rob to having a speddy, so dropped down a couple places. As Alfia Buzz swapping places at the back for P16. Start aboard again with the Ferrari of Reesup. Is he going to be able to overtake the Williams of surprise down towards T9? No, he's not close enough. He is gaining massively, but unfortunately, on this occasion, not close enough to make said move. Let's have a look at the back here. Woo, look at this. Jettis and MCL again side by side. MCL not able to make the move as we head towards the hotel section, and underneath the hotel we go with its very flashy lights. As Mills is right ahead of them in P6 as there's Yuski at the back. That's the Alpine of Megan spinning at the hotel section. And the virtual safety car has been deployed, so somebody has dropped debris somewhere. I cannot tell who dropped it where, but the virtual safety car has come out. So let's have a look at this. Harvey and Megan pits. Did any of them pick up damage? I think Harvey might have picked up damage, as I don't see a front wing from his on boards. Yeah. So Harvey might have done something, maybe made contact with somebody, made contact with the wall. But his loss of a front wing is what caused the virtual safety car. He actually retired from the session immediately after pitting, as Megan and Bus headed to the pit lane for a set of meters for the McLaren and a set of hearts for the Alpine. As we're under virtual safety car conditions on lap 20 of 29, which gives me an opportunity to calm down a little bit. And actually, I just noticed that Harvey didn't DNF. He got not a DNF, but a DSQ. Harvey got disqualified For what reason? I don't know. Let's have a look. There. Blocking the pit lane, apparently. Blocking the pit lane was the reason why he got disqualified. But I don't know exactly how he blocked it because I didn't see it. But either way, the virtual safety car has ended. And now Duplex actually increased this gap to 5.6 as Grandana hits from the soft side, as I imagined him hitting quite early compared to those around him. Let's have a look at what tires he will go on. We've got to mediums, that is. No, that's the hard tires. White walled hard goes on to the Williams. And now it is the two Ferraris. Actually, not the two Ferraris in Williams, because one Ferrari is miles ahead of the other. Defo crashed into pit entry. Maybe he crashed into pit entry. I can't confirm that because I didn't see it with my own eyes. As Duplex is far and away in first, and then behind, surprise, there is a whole train of cars. As we can see Banjo in P9, the other Mercedes and Raven and Wayne down in P16. So Mercedes having absolutely awful luck in this evening's race as MCL and Jetta's going side by side. Jetta's getting past the Alfa Romeo. As you can see, Surprise slightly gaining, although not getting a match as there's Years at the back. There's the second AlphaTauri of Quintuple Y. And now he's dropped down the order, so one AlphaTauri retiring, the other having a spin, so an AlphaTauri having so both AlphaTauris have a bit of a disaster. I think around now, the hard tire runners should be gaining on the medium runners. So I think the medium runners should be thinking of pitting very soon. As Remote Banjo does pit from the medium tires to the hards. So that'll be a sprint to the end for him. As, yeah, Mercedes having an awful disaster race. Meanwhile, Williams, despite only one car at the moment running in the points, Surprise is 18 points. Even if the race were to finish like this, Surprise is 18 points for P2 would still be enough. Though pending, of course, he could get P1 after post-race penalties for Duplex, which could happen because those two box on lap 1, let's be honest, were quite sketchy. Oh, wait a minute. I said 18 points, right? I'm gonna stop for a second as Megan spins. Okay, anyway, I said 18. I keep forgetting. I always keep going by the normal F1 point system. I don't really go by the EXA scoring system. It's 20 for Peter. I keep forgetting. I do have short memory in certain cases. But either way, yeah, Surprise's P2 at the moment will be enough to secure the Construction Championship as Quintuple Y has had another spin at the exit of turn 9. And I believe, yes, he has a front wing gone or not gone. I can't see. There's a bit of his front wing. There's a bit of his front wing off, so... yeah, he has a bit of damage as Apity pits from the mediums to the hard compound tires. This fight's getting interesting between P4, 5, 6, and 7. Let's have a look at Jettas. He is about to overtake Cheese for P4. The Red Bull Mill trying to follow. He's still going to try to follow. MCL's trying to follow as well. They make contact with each other at the back. As Mill does get a penalty for going off track there. He won't be a happy man. And he'll still won't be a happy man as MCL makes the move. And his teammate Aiden making the move as well. As Aiden tried to make the move on MCL. That didn't work, my friend, though. As Mill does get past his teammate. The Red Bulls are going side by side with each other. Don't ruin each other's race, guys. You're working together for crying out loud. Your teammates are still going side by side. This is sketchy. Aiden just about ahead of Millard. As Robson, that's not Robson, that's Chisak pitting as Quintuple White picks up a 10. Not a 3, not a 5, a 10-second penalty. for corner cutting. As let's have a look at him at the very back. He has his whole front wings now gone. By the looks of things. As we're on to lap 14:29, almost half the distance done already. And Duplex at the moment dominantly ahead, but with a massive asterisk, as the Alpha tire at the back has yet another catastrophe spin as he'll pit. And will he retire along his pit lane mid-teammate as he almost crashes into the pit lane? Meanwhile, Grandad and Alfie going side by side. Grandad trying to make the move on the Alpine and does so. And his next target will be the Aston Martin Robsu. The Aston doesn't have DRS. The Williams does have DRS. Ooh. The Aston almost blocking the Williams. Thankfully leaves enough space. And the Williams does get past two cars in two corners. And Grandad is now up into P8. Okay, this is getting sketchy. Raven and MPT tussling a little bit. Raven was at 1.5 for the race lead. And now is down to P15. As we can see, Millard pitting from the mediums. He'll go on to the hards, I imagine. Yes, he will. Let's see who will be first of the big guns to pit, as MCL is looking to make the move on Leighton. Let's right up with the Alfa Romeo. As he wasn't able to make the move down towards T5, though he'll try to get a better exit, and more importantly, he will have the DRS. The Red Bull doesn't. Which way will the Alfa Romeo go? He'll go for the outside lane, and the Alfa Romeo does get past the Red Bull. Red Bull doesn't try to fight you down the inside because he knows there'll be another DRS turn. As he's going to try to get a better exit, gets a equal-ish exit, but this time the Red Bull gets DRS. As, what's this? Quintuple Y's crashed. Quintuple Y has crashed at turn number 9. And the full safety car has been deployed, ladies and gentlemen. So that will change the race a lot, as I believe the big gunners will pit. Duplex does pit from the mediums. I think it'll be the hards, because I don't think you can take the soft tires for that. Well, I guess it will be the hards. But for surprise and reasonable code, it'll actually be sort of a net gain, because they will be on fresh and softer tires, I should say. As Reason almost rear ends surprised there. Thankfully, he doesn't. As we can see, about 11 million cars pitting, so the pit lane is going to get quite busy and quite chaotic, I'd imagine. As, yeah, pretty much everybody is pitting. And we can see Duplex coming out in P1. You can see, is that Millard's not pitting? Yes, it is. Millard is not pitting, so he'll gain a couple of positions. And now he's up into P7. Who else doesn't pit? No, that's Megan. Megan does pit as well. So everyone apart from Millard and Amputee made pit stops under the safety car. So Millard and Amputee could be a little bit of a back foot. Maybe along with Duplex as well, because I think it's going to be a case of the medium tire runners will have the advantage early on, but then the hard tires could start to become slightly better. But let's see. Yes, this safety car restart, the remaining race distance, could well and truly be a madness. I repeat, madness. As we're on to lap 16 of 29. Very, not the, I was going to say it's very calm at the moment. The race is anything but calm. We have 3 retirements in the session, with Tobias DNFing in the pit lane Harvey getting disqualified, and then quintuple Y crashing at 9. I don't know if that was an actual mistake or an intentional crash. If it was an intentional crash, then that's an unsportsmanlike. But either way, Mercedes and Williams, let's talk about them at the moment, because at the moment it is firmly in Williams's hands at the moment, the championship as it stands. Williams scoring 20 something points. I can't remember how many points does P9 score, but either way, both Williams are in the points. One Williams is in P2, the other is also in the points. Both Mercedes are outside the points in P12 and 15. So Mercedes having an absolute disaster class. 4 points for Pina. Yeah, thank you very much for that. So yeah, Williams scoring 24 points at the moment. Mercedes at the moment scoring a total of nothing. 0. Nada. Zip. Null. So Williams have a humongous advantage as it stands. Mercedes headed into this race 18 points ahead in the championship. Now as it stands, with the safety car coming in at the end of this lap, Williams are leading live at the moment by 6 points. Because Williams is scoring 24 at the moment, so 18. So 24 minus 18 is 6. So Williams at this stand. Okay, Banjo scores 1 point. But either way, Williams scoring 24 points. So at the moment, Williams are leading the way by 5 points as it stands. So let's see who will be where at the end of the race, as Duplex, the controversial race leader, will be leading us the way to green. Let's see what he can do at the restart. As let's see, when will he get his foot to the floor? We can see so much he now gets his foot to the floor, and back underway we go on lap 18 of 29. Duplex leads the way. Surprise in P2. Reza in 3rd. Let's see who will be where at the end of this race, as my controller almost jumped to the floor. Literally. As Grandada is tussling with Alfie at the back. As you can see, let's ride off board with the Williams to surprise, as he is looking to try and take the race lead as Grandada drops the position. So Williams scoring 23 points at the moment. But could it be 20? Could be another 25 for surprise. Let's see as Ada makes the move on Jettas for P4. As Jettas is going to try to fight back. But the Red Bull, a little bit of contact there. The Haas is forced off the track. Luckily, doesn't pick up a time penalty for that. Meanwhile, let's have a look at the front. The Williams, a surprise, is going for the move on Duplex down the inside of turn 9. And the Williams is ahead of the Ferrari. And surprise leads the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix for Williams, as Alfie picks up a time penalty at the back. And now Jetta's Aiden dropping places. He's dropped 2 places. Could be 1 as he defends from MCL. MCL trying his desperately to get up and fight for what is P2 the championship, as MCL's trying to make another move down towards the final quarter. Doesn't though. Surprise sets the fastest up the race. The 24-7, I believe that is. Okay, Duplex needs to let me. Yeah, I'd imagine now with the Fry situation. So we see Surprise leading on mediums. Reason is also on mediums. Between them is the other Fry with Duplex on hards. I think Duplex might need to let Reason pass, because Reason is on the better tires. I think Reason will be on the radio. I think he'll be trying to say, hey, Duplex, let me go. I'm on the faster tires. At the moment, that doesn't look like it, as Aiden makes the move on MCL at the back. Mercedes trying to make a move. McLaren at the back trying to make a move on Chizak for the not lost. Aston fights back for the McLaren. As the McLaren won't have DRS, we can see this big train of cars here at the restarts of the safety car. Surprise leading, though Duplex is still right there. Reason also right there. Jetta's dropping out of DRS range, so Jetta's not getting DRS at the moment. Yeah, it is impressive as it stands that the train is pretty much intact. Really esports-esque, if we do say so ourselves. We can see now onto lap 20, DRS has been enabled. So Duplex will have DRS. Reason will also have DRS as Robster at the back in the Aston picks up a time penalty. As you can see, Grandada is now up into P8, so that's another few extra points for Williams. What's up at the back? Bust has had another bust moment and now has spun a total of 3 times at least. And with this spin, actually damaging his front wing, so it's a disaster for McLaren. Meanwhile, Grandada making a move on the Mild. The Red Bull game pass wins, but the Williams overshots it. And the Red Bull gets back into P7. Grandada desperate to try and make up places. Overshots it, and they'll lose that place, along with another 2 to Alfie and Robsu. And now Grandada is now down to P10 as now make it P9 as the Alpine and Aston make contact with each other. Though the Williams and Aston still side by side, very, very close with each other. The Williams trying to go around the outside, a little bit of big contact made there. No more contact made there. The Aston is ghosted, and that gives the Mercedes a Roy Banjo an opportunity to make up places. And the Aston still ghosted, the Aston. Very weird seeing Mercedes and Aston going through each other. Literally. As the Aston is now unghosted, so that could be one for the steward's room. I think Duplex is certainly going to the steward's room after his lap 1 shenanigans. Speaking of Duplex, let's have a look if he'll have a main move for the race lead, as he is gaining on the race leader. Surprise, Reesup is right behind it, though he's not thinking about his teammate, he's thinking about the race lead. And at the moment at the chicane, he's not able to make the move. Let's see if he'll make the move at the second DRS. And meanwhile, Alfie making move on Mild. Robson making a move on Amputee, I think that is. Amputee dropping places. He's dropped another place to Snugs. Meanwhile, for the race lead, here's Duplex closer to make a move towards T9. No, not quite close enough. Wait. Ooh. This is getting close, and we do also have to factor in, the end results of today is one thing, but then you also have to factor in the post-race penalties that could happen. For example, with Duplex of his, what shenanigans? I mean, Duplex, he is fast. He has proven that he was one of the fastest drivers this evening, but his lap 1 shenanigans when he hunted off 2 people, that could be one under investigation. As further back, Alfie getting very close to Miller for P7. The Alpine almost trying to make a move towards T5. The Alpine almost touching, almost bomb dropping the Red Bull as he tries to go around the outside. He's going to try to perform the switch where it doesn't work, as there's no moves being made here, although MCL Aiden still juking it out for P5. The Alfa Romeo is going to go late on the brakes down the inside. The Red Bull still trying to hang on. The Red Bull does hang on, but MCL is going to try to perform the switcheroo, and with the help of DRS, he is going side by side with Aiden again, though Aiden using the power of ERS. Though MCL has DRS and the inside line. Down the inside he goes, and MCL has passed. Meanwhile, the Alfa Romeo Snugs has had a spin at the exit of the chicane, and one Alfa Romeo is doing alright, the other not so much. Meanwhile, at the front, Surprise leading the way. Duplex not able to make the move. Reesup still in P3. Roy Banjo is now ahead of one of the Williams, but still it's advantage Williams as it stands. Let's see where this race develops as Raven pits again for soft tires, I'm guessing. So he'll try to go for fastest lap. But Snox and Bust will try to do the same as well, as they're on softs as well. Meanwhile, Duplex is having another dose of DRS, but he will not be able to make the move, but he will gain. And gain he did. Meanwhile, Aiden MCL still tussling it away from P5. This time, Aiden making the move on the Alfa Romeo. Meanwhile, Banjo and Mild tussling it out. And Alfie's there as well. A little bit of banging there. Grandaddy is there. He's going to go right on board with the Williams. The Alpine is vulnerable from the Red Bull and the Mercedes. What's going to happen here? This is going to get quite sketchy. The Alpine and Red Bull going side by side. Mercedes almost rear-ending one of them. The Williams almost rear-ending the Mercedes. This is very, very close as he right on board with Alfie. Is going to be a move made here? No. No move made here as there's just the back. I believe that's Bust and Stocks hitting each other at the hairpin. Meanwhile, this battle is getting quite intense for what is P7 in this race. But quite mental scenes here as we're ending lap 23 and on to lap 24 we go. This could get a dicey fight. Let's have a look at this fight, shall we? As I don't think there'll be moves made for the race lead. Though we will go back to the race lead. Actually, well, let's have a look at the race lead. You can see Duplex is gaining and gaining and gaining. No, I wanted to make the move. Meanwhile, let's have a look at this fight. Four-way fight for P7. We're going to go 2 wide, banging wheels. 3 wide. Alpine on the inside. Red Bull in the middle. Williams trying to make moves as well. Grandaddy. The Alpine off the track there. Almost spinning the Red Bull there. Didn't have a great exit there. This is going to get sketchy as the Mercedes try to gain on the Alpine. The Alpine trying to gain on the Red Bull. We can see Alpine trying to go down the inside. Had a look. Not able to make the move on Miller though. But the Miller doesn't get a great exit. And actually looks to have landed past. I think Miller might have gotten a legal overtake. I think somewhere. As he almost rear ends the Alpine there. Look at this. Under the hotel we go side by side. The Mercedes almost sending the Red Bull round. The Williams under pressure from Robsu. This fight for P7 is going to get intense as 5 cars nose to tail. This is getting interesting. As we're on to lap 25 as you can see Aiden in the Red Bull has been disconnected from the session. What's this? Surprise! Surprise has also disconnected from the session. It is a Ferrari 1-2 in Abu Dhabi. Surprise in P3. Make it P4. Not at the moment as Raven at the back in the Mercedes. That's the fast of the race. The surprise is now down to P4 while his ghost is down to P4. What has happened here? Those disconnects, especially Surprise's disconnection, that's going to add even more drama to this race. As Bust has had a spinner at the hotel section. Meanwhile, look at this, Alfie making a move on the Red Bull again. Mercedes making the move as well. As Surprise is back into the session. The Red Bull and Mercedes going side by side. This is getting sketchy all round as the Red Bull makes the move on the Mercedes. The Mercedes trying to fight for the Mercedes. The Red Bull trying to make the move on the Alpine. This is getting quite sketchy as Bust retires in the pit lane. That won't cause a safety car. The Red Bull and the wheels make contact. Grandaddy sent spinning round, front wing a little bit off. Front wing damage off. This is gonna get quite interesting. A Surprise. What's this? Surprise. Surprise has pitted. Surprise has pitted. His ghost is pitted. Oh my god. What drama is happening? Grandaddy also pits. Now that puts him at Badgers. Miller has had a spin at turn number 2. Not at turn 3 actually. Oh my god. What in the name of holy is happening in Abu Dhabi? late drama, turning the whole championship around as Remote Banjo is going to take Alfie for P5 in this race. A little bit of a lock-up there, but Remote Banjo up into P5. Could be P6 again as Alfie will have DRS, the Mercedes. Is he going to defend the inside? He will. The Alpine is on the outside. Mercedes trying to fight back. This is getting very close. The Alpine's had a little wiggle there. Almost spun. Now they're side by side towards the hotel section we go. So I'm losing my voice. Side by side they go. Snox has retired from position in pit lane. Still banging wheels. The Alpine and Mercedes. Alfie and Banjo. As Alfie in the Alpine picks up a penalty. Oh, wait. Have I fixed it? Have I fixed my mic? I think I fixed my mic. So there you go, I fixed my mic. Apologies for the crack. I don't know how that happens, but it's now fixed. And now we can focus back onto the drama as Duplex and Jets are sussing it out. Well, we're going to have a three-way fight for the race lead now. This has suddenly got a lot more instinct as Jets is going to perform your switcheroo on Duplex. They both have DRS. Late drama happening all over the place here, ladies and gentlemen. Two and a bit laps remaining in this race as the Bros go side by side. Jets is right behind them. Great drama. I'm losing my voice again as the Bros buying wheels at each other. Visa going down the inside of Duplex. Jettis has joined this fight. Ada's back in the session. Oh my god, the Ferraris make contact! The Ferraris make contact with each other. And there'll be tensions at Maranello as now Jettis has taken the race lead. MCL is in P2. And now Promote Banjos will be P5, could be P4-3, depending on how this goes. Now both Williams drivers, surprise only scoring 2 points, I believe that is. Now, for most of the race, we thought that was going one way, but then everything turned on its head. Oh, this has gotten so dramatic. I'm losing my voice still. I'm still keeping up somehow. I don't know how, but I am. As Robert Badger is in P5. The Ferraris are P3 or 4. What happened to Snox? He retired in the pit lane. Snox retired in the pit lane, if you're wondering. Bust also retired from in the pit lane. Same as Tobias. Principal White crashed, and then Harvey got disqualified. So that is the retirement explained. Meanwhile, Chizang is making the move on Apiti. Around the outside he goes, side by side, banging wheels. Yastin is ahead, and they contact again. Contact again, and the Aston of Chizang is sent spinning rounds. And further down the points he goes as we start the final lap of the race of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the final race of X2 season number 4. As Apiti has had a spin at the hotel section. Surprise! We set up into P9 with the fastest up of the race. Though as it stands, Mercedes are outscoring now. Mercedes are now the ones who outscored their rivals. Oh my goodness gracious. For most, we can see Aiden setting the fastest up of the race. Surprise making some moves. I think he'll be P8 at best as he is 3.5 seconds behind Megan. As you can see, Ampiti has crashed at the entry of the hairpin. And they're up to 6 retirements of the session. As we're going to have a look at the details, position changes. We can see Chetta's moving up 5 places from where he was. But oh my god, for most of the race, we thought it was going to be Williams taking the championship. But after extremely late and extremely dramatic circumstances, the face of the championship completely turned around as Jettas will take the final win of X2 season number 4. MCL finishes in P2. Duplex will take 3rd, and with Remote Banjo taking P5. And Surprise, despite moving up to P8, with Alfie, no, that's Robsu having a late spin. Despite Surprise finishing in P8, Raven will score a singular point. And I think he'll get another position after Miller's penalty. Yes, he does. And with that, Mercedes, after looking on the back foot massively throughout most of the race, Mercedes somehow come out on top. And Mercedes have the double in season number 4. Mercedes took the Drivers' Championship last week. This week, Mercedes are your EXA X2 Season 4 Constructors Champions. What a dramatic final few laps we've had, ladies and gentlemen, as Jettas takes a unlikely win. A great win, but a surprisingly unlikely one. As MCL, with his P2 finish, I don't know if that'll be quite enough for P2 in the championship. He'll certainly be close, but I don't know if that's quite enough, because I think Surprise finished in 8th. So I don't know if that's enough, but either way, Jettas finishes off on top from 6th on the grid. Then MCL finishes P2 from 9th on the grids. Then Duplex rounds out the podium. Behind them, Reesup making it a 3-4. Though Duplex could be under investigation for lap 1. Behind them, Remote Banjo finishes in P5. Then it is the 2 outbeats of Megan and Alfie that Surprise gets P8. Then Chisak in 9th. Then Robsu, Raven. Then Millet rounding out the point scores. Behind them we have Aiden, Grandadder, Amputee, and then the non-finishers are Slugs, Bust, Quadruple White, Tobias, and Harvey. And with this result, despite Surprise having a late charge towards the end, Mercedes, with their P5 and 11, have done enough. And Mercedes take the double in Season 4 X2. Drivers and Constructors Championship are heading to Brackley. But guys, that has been it for X2 in Season 4. What a dramatic race that was. For most of the race, we thought that Williams had the upper echelon advantage. But then, in the dying stage of the race, Williams had awful bad luck. One disconnected, the other spinning, pit stops having to be made. I think Surprise's Ghost made a pit stop. Grandadder had to make a pit stop because he had damage. And then Mercedes being fairly clean-ish towards the end. Not too much drama. And then with, obviously, Banjo going up places, he finished P5 in the end. Mercedes do take the championship. That was unexpected, but the unexpected is always exciting. But guys, that has been it for X2 in Season 4. Thank you very much for watching. What a dramatic finale it was. Make sure to tune in for when Season 5 starts in X2. Thank you for watching. Take care, and goodbye.